189,081 students did their KCSE last year, 2022. And out of these, 173,345 qualified to join the tertiary institutions and universities in the country. Now, in the country, we have over 63 universities, 33 being private and 30 being public university in this country. And now, with all these institutions, which am I supposed to join if I'm a student? We are joined today by Dr. Shadrack Kamundi. Shadrack Kamundi is the DVC Student Affairs and Services from the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, UEAB, in Uasin Gishu County?
Nandi
County. And you can greet the viewer.
Praise the Lord.
And we also have Dr. Marlon Juma, who is the Dean of Men, Department of Student Affairs. Greet the viewer.
Hello, viewer.
Thank you very much. Now, we want to sink into this discussion and ask ourselves, what institution should I choose as a student? And why necessarily is the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, a better choice still for me? Now, these two people are going to help us demystify this particular issue. First of all, welcome to the show, and thank you very much for coming all the way from Nandi County.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, let's first of all begin from the onset of the institution. When did this institution of University of Eastern Africa, Baraton begin?
Thank you so much. The University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, started way back in 1979. Mm-hmm. But then I think I was a small boy. I was in class 5.
Class 5?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
It started as the first private university in the Republic of Kenya.
Is the first private university?
The first private university.
The first among the 30?
Among the... no. By then, yeah, the first private university of the 33 private universities in Kenya. Baraton is the mother. Oh, yes. Started in 1979. Kenyans had a lot of problems. If you never hit, and it was very competitive to join a university. And so the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which owns the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, heard the cry of the people. Kenyans were suffering, going to India, going to America, going to Britain. It was very expensive. And so the church heard the cry of the people. They went to the then President of the Republic, the late beloved President Moi.
Yes.
And they pledged a request. That as a church, we request to start a university. And that's how it started. Okay. And of course, the aim of the university, among other great aims, was to instill morals in the learners.
Okay. So that
is the core.
The core.
The core. To instill morals in the university students. They will go through Baraton.
And when was it chartered officially?
Of course, it was chartered in 1991. It continued for a long time at the University College of Andrews University in the U.S., which up to today there is a lot of collaboration. By the way, when Baraton started, we had only one full-fledged university in the Republic. All others were university colleges.
Yes.
Oh, yes. And we thank God the university has since been producing morally upright, God-fearing products up to today.
Now, I'll be coming back to you to give us samples of that, if acceptable. I've watched your YouTube channel, UEAB, Baraton what's the name? Baraton TV.
Oh yeah, we have Baraton
seen
TV.
a sample of this, which you can share with our viewers to know some of the people that have gone through your hands. But let's talk about the location of Baraton University. Where are you situated geographically? And yeah.
Thank you. Geographically, the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, is located in Nandi County. It is 50 kilometers away from Eldoret town, and located closer to Kapsabet town. Kapsabet is the capital of Nandi County.
Oh, okay.
And it's in a small village called Baraton.
Baraton.
That's why we have the name, the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton.
And by the way, sometimes we call you out here. We call you University of Baraton.
We need to learn to use the right nomenclature of the university. It is the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton. This university is found...
Baraton is about the location.
Yes, the location. It's found 0.256 degrees north, that's latitude, and 30.086 degrees east, that's longitude.
Wow.
You can always find
How
that.
do I use that as a layperson?
Those are the
Anyway,
coordinates,
good,
right? Those are the
You have
coordinates, dear friend. You can log in that right away. Yes, that's
Yes.
exactly where we are found. Yes, yes.
Now I believe we've talked about the history, but then let's talk about also the milestones, just in touching as we go on with this discussion. What are some of your major milestones that you have been able to achieve so far? Are you achieving the core purpose for which you started this institution?
As I said earlier, the main reason as why we started the university as the SDA Church was to instill morals in the students. You can see so many universities, the way students behave. The morality is not really given the weight that it deserves. You know, when there is too much freedom for learners, that you can attend classes when you want, you can be anywhere at whatever time, you can eat anything, you can drink anything, you know, it beats logic. It beats logic. Learners need to be guided, whether they are primary school learners, secondary school learners, or university. You know, there is a lot of, at all levels, primary school, these young people are given a lot of discipline. In high school, the same. But if the discipline all of a sudden, you know, is cut off,
the window.
You know, thrown out of the window because now you've entered the university. And some of the students who enter university today are 16, 17 years, 18. And some of them have no ID cards. And they come, they are used to that life where they're enclosed. And all of a sudden they are told you can do anything, you can drink beer, you can take drugs. Of course, there is no university which says drink beer. But when there is no check and balances, these university students, young though they are, they find themselves into these behaviors. Into these behaviors. And so this is what makes Baraton so unique in the Republic of Kenya compared to other universities.
On that same issue, I want to bring you in, Dr. Marlon. The society today seems to be, quote unquote, rotten to some extent. And, you know, there are no morals when you look at people, the way we behave, the way we act, and the way we reason. Talk about the corruption that is savaging our country, Kenya. And, you know, the lack of morals generally, we don't have discipline. Where are such institutions as Baraton? What is your contribution? Because we kind of, in a way, aren't feeling it.
We are being felt if you'd be deliberate to find out the trajectory of those who go through Baraton. They are all over. And back to the issue
can you give me
of
examples
values.
So that at least I can see, okay, for this person, I've seen it. Because, you know, I'm just looking at the face value of it. The country, Kenya, the morals are down. So can you give me examples of people? Then maybe I would appreciate and say, okay, here is Baraton's contribution.
There are many, and those who will ever listen to this can also put down and say, I'm a Baratonian. Let's begin with the Safaricom CEO. CFO. The Chief Finance Officer of Safaricom currently is a Baratonian. And we have many others dotted all over in the military.
Nursing Council
CEO is a Baratonian, and many others in government.
Wow.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay. But then what need we to do as a country, especially in the education sector, because you guys are the ones who set the pace. You really determine a lot when it comes to the way the society operates, because it's you people who do thesis papers and you know, kind of how to change the perception of different institutions. What then should you do more, or what should we do as a country to make a feel of more of Baraton's kind of institutions?
It's really a concern. Africa is known to be a moral continent. There are things we don't do as Africans. The way we dress as Africans, we are known to be decently dressed. We are supposed to be decently dressed. There is this saying of my dress, my choice. We should never allow our young people to choose how to dress at any moment. They should dress as per the Kenyan culture, what the society accepts as acceptable. There's a day.
Do you mean we have a code of conduct that explains how we're supposed to dress?
Oh yes, it's known everywhere. There is a specific way of dressing at every occasion. When we talk about decent dressing, it is the dress that you wear when you are out in the public. You know, when you put on a suit and a tie, you cannot put on a suit and a tie and go to sleep.
Yeah, no. You don't.
That you are decently dressed. At night when you are sleeping, there is no decency. But it is known in the society that this is the way of dressing in every society. For example, among the Kikuyus, I am told you cannot go to negotiate dowry, and you are among the people who have gone there and you are a lady dressed in trousers. The Kikuyu community will not accept that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Neither,
most communities.
Kenyan communities, you know. But you cannot at the same time go for marathon like we do in Nandi in a suit or in a long dress as a lady.
Yes.
You know, there is a dress for every occasion.
Yes.
But generally, there is a time I visited Las Vegas city in Nevada. That is the USA. And we boarded a bus. I was seated at the window. And when at the window, I noticed something funny of a lady who had dressed in her choice. She was dressed in a short trouser, and that was the only dress on her body. And she was being carried by a young man whom I thought was her boyfriend. Reaching at the stage, the motorbike was parked. She was coming to board the bus. And they started kissing in public. And this lady did not have bras. She had nothing.
Nothing on top?
Nothing on top.
Wow. Okay.
And she was coming to board the bus. Guess what? She came and sat next to me.
I can imagine.
And is this where we want to lead our country into? Because this saying of my dress, my choice, it means we are leading our country there.
So you are advocating as an institution some basic and and accepted standards. This is how we should operate. And you are against. Have you also put this in your institution? Like here, you don't dress like this. You don't behave like this.
It's
very clear.
It's very
clearly stipulated.
It's clearly stipulated.
Okay. All right. Let me move to the other thing.
Can I give you an example before you go to the next?
All right.
At Baraton, all our ladies, and we love them, and they love it. They've accepted it, and they feel comfortable. They don't dress, they don't put on skirts above their knees. And anyone who puts on like that, they feel out of place. They don't, the university and the students have embraced, they don't put on ragged trousers at all.
Okay.
At any moment.
Wow. Right.
No. And so, and the young people...
You make me feel like I should go back to school and attend Baraton because my experience was quite different, and we were allowed to do anything, dress the way you want. You know, my dress, my choice was the order of the day.
You remember, every institution has its own code of conduct.
True.
That finds domicile in the student handbook and policy guidelines. Once you establish your policy guidelines and you make orientation to all the stakeholders, you move forward.
Wow.
And those are our standards.
Let's deal with some misconceptions about UEAB Baraton. First of all, out here, we tend to think that Baraton is a theology institution. Demystify that.
Yeah, of course, being a church institution, being an SDA institution of higher learning, being the first private university, because we didn't have universities teaching theology, the notion was this is a university for either pastors' children, or a university to train pastors. We, out of the 33 private universities in this country, many of them are church-oriented, and they train pastors. Theology is one of the courses being taught. Baraton is one of them.
All right.
It trains pastors. But this is just a department.
It's a department.
A department of theology and religious studies. Out of, it is under school. School of Education, Humanities and Social Sciences. 5.
You have 5 schools.
Oh yes, and each school has several departments.
Yes.
And now theology is not even a school.
No.
It is a department under a school. And there are 5 schools.
Yes.
So it's one of the departments, and it teaches theology and religious studies. But mainly, by the way, Baraton's niche, it's known to be the best university which trains nurses in the Republic of Kenya.
I've always known that. Baraton is very good in nursing. I've heard that several times.
It was the first, Baraton was the first university in Kenya to start degrees in nursing. In fact, the whole of East Africa.
All right.
And go around and look at the lecturers who are teaching nursing. You know, these other universities, they have their roots from Baraton.
Wow. So what kind of courses do you offer?
We've said we have 5 schools, and each school has departments.
Yes.
And so we have more than 13 departments offering different courses.
Can you sample just a few of the
Yes,
courses?
let's begin from School of Business. We have Computing, Information Science. Come over to Accountancy, we have Finance. Come over to Education, we have issues in the area of Education Administration, Management, we have Curriculum, and many others. We also have the School of Nursing. We've talked about that. We have Public Health. We have Laboratory, Medical Lab, and many others around.
Engineering courses.
Okay.
Of different types.
Different
courses.
Okay.
So Baraton is not about theology. No.
And don't forget mass communication, right?
Some of you should come there to upgrade.
Yes,
because
that's degree level or also at master's level.
Mass communication, different up to bachelor's level.
Bachelor's level.
Yes, if there is anyone here with a diploma or certificate, come and upgrade.
And amongst all these other courses, are you up to master's or you are just at the bachelor's level?
We are up to PhD.
Up to PhD.
PhD.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and by the way, you told me that you have a PhD in something, and where you pursued it from.
My area of specialization is the ISC training is educational administration PhD.
And you
from Baraton.
Baraton.
Oh, yes.
UEAB.
Yeah.
All right. You're also mentioning Baraton when you're saying that it's UEAB specifically.
Oh,
yes, but anyway, very, very okay. And of course, we applaud you for what you're doing. But what about the student composition? Like you mentioned, you alluded to, it's been, some perceive it to be a pastor's kids university, where we take every pastor's kid, whether they are passed or not, we take them there. You know, it's kind of a reject institution where the rejects go.
That's not right. That UAB is a dumping place of those who have failed to perform. No, we have criteria to follow. We have accrediting bodies that accredit this university to ensure that we follow the standards that are required. And those who come in must meet the minimum requirements to enroll in any of the courses around. So it's not only for pastors' kids.
No.
We have children from many other families. Even an Adventists are also there.
So it's not, you know, he mentioned that it's run, sponsored by the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Right.
But then the students you take are not necessarily from Adventist
You are right. You're right.
Okay.
We have a whole array. We have a mixture.
And from which countries especially? Is it only from Kenya?
No, it's an international private school like others.
Okay.
We have people from the United States, Britain, South Africa, many countries on the continent of Africa. More than 20 countries are represented at UEAB.
All right. Now, let's also talk about your fee structure.
Possibly before we go to fee structure, can I elaborate?
Okay.
We take beyond SCDS students. We have all denominations. We have all religions. We have Hindus studying at Baraton. We have Muslims. As we speak now, we have students from Mogadishu studying at Baraton.
Okay.
And different denominations. We don't discriminate on religion. We don't discriminate on color or anything. Whosoever will may come. Anyone who wants to study at the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, and any parent who values and loves his child or her child, the university of choice is where morals
Are upheld.
are applied.
UEAB.
University of Eastern Africa, Baraton. By the way, do you know why it's called University of Eastern Africa?
No.
When it started in 1979, it used to serve students from the Eastern Africa region of the continent.
Oh, okay.
From Djibouti to Zimbabwe. Oh yes, that was the area, that was the constituency of Baraton. Even now we have students from all these countries and now beyond.
You opened up to beyond.
We opened up.
That territory.
And it's not, as it was said, a dumping place. We admit as per the university charter. Oh yes.
Okay.
We are checked by the Commission for University Education. Every student that we admit, from certificate to diploma to bachelor's to master's to PhD, they have to go hand in hand with the university charter.
All right, and you know, as a country, we are going through some hard economic times, and you know, it's really hard also to afford some of these school fees charged in public or private, these tertiary institutions. How affordable is Baraton in terms of your fee structure?
I would still want to make a mention to the parent who is watching now and the guardian. Compare the prices, the fee structures of various institutions, and look at what we have at Baraton. You'll discover that we are extremely lower than the rest of the institutions. And for this, the DVs would want to talk about this comparison in detail on that.
Wow. Before I come back to you, let's first of all take a short break, because I would really love you to break it down. How can we get this particular fee structure to compare for the course that I want to study as a student? So, dear viewer, we're taking a short break on this discussion. Remember, it's Hope Channel Kenya, and today we are talking about tertiary education. And we are considering one institution in this country, the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton. How suitable is it for your child or for you to go and pursue your course there? We are coming back shortly. Welcome back. This is still Hope Channel Kenya, light in your family. And today I'm joined by Dr. Shadrack Kamundi, who is the DVC Student Affairs and Services. And we also have Dr. Marlon Juma, who is the Dean of Men, Department of Student Affairs. And they're here to help me discuss this topic on tertiary education. And we're just taking a classic example of the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton. Now, the intake is ongoing for where students get to select their universities of choice, their career that they want to pursue, and where they are offered, so that they can go and study and, become more professionals in their careers. But when we are taking a short break, we wanted to talk about the affordability of UEAB. How affordable is your fee structure, Dr. Kamundi? General, because I know, of course, it's different charges for different degrees and courses, but then generally, how is it?
Thank you so much. When you talked about UEAB, you meant University of Eastern Africa,
Baraton.
Baraton. 5 words making one name.
Yes.
Baraton, for a long time, being the first private university in Kenya out of the 33 private universities, started, and when it started, the comparison of school fees with the public universities then seemed to be higher than being private.
Okay.
Then. But then as time went by, Baraton's fees, because instead of keeping on increasing, it was stagnant for a long time. And there came a time when we reduced it so that a common Kenyan can afford it to study and get the morals which Baraton offers in addition to academics. So currently, Baraton is among the most affordable universities in the Republic. In fact, those who are applying now to join universities, if they go to the KUPSI portal, the school fees for all the universities in Kenya are indicated.
Okay.
All of them, including Baraton. And if you want to know that Baraton is among the most affordable, go to the university portal and you'll see the highest cost in Baraton. Highest, that is nothing. Where we charge 270 something. In other universities,
for what
nothing
duration?
for a year,
per
year. When you go to other universities, especially public, the same course goes as high as 340. Oh yes, oh yes. And currently, it is cheaper than all public.
Yet it's a private institution.
Yet it is a private university. Oh, yes.
Okay.
So anyone who wants to join the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, especially now with the current offer from the government of 55% loan to study at the university, you will enjoy.
And you're saying, how does one get to apply? You're talking about KUPS, the portal. How do we get it? Is it what's the URL or www.what?
And students know.
They know.
And if you talk about WW, there are some students from the village who may not do it for themselves. So what we advise, those who cannot directly go to the portal, they use the nearby cyber. They go to the site. I think almost every cyber now knows how to select universities for students in the how to open the university, the KUPS portal. But they should be careful, because we have had incidences of students who have gone and paid money to the cybers. They say, we've applied for you and it's over, only to realize they never applied, and the year passes. So one has to be very careful, even in collaboration with the university. And if you remind me, I'll give them the university number, which can assist them on how to apply. So they should not, we say in Kiswahili, walagai. These conmen who can say, I have applied for you, give me 1,000 shillings, and there is no application. And the student will realize after 1 year, there is no placement. Only to realize that the cyber was never applied for them, and they took their money. They need to be careful.
Very important to be careful. But then, still on the process of application, I'm wondering, is KUPS the only avenue whereby you can apply for these courses, these universities, or is there another avenue that we can use for the same?
Currently, and always, there are two ways of joining universities, either directly or indirectly through KUPS. Okay? When I talk, even if you want to go to a public university, there are two ways. You can either go through KUPS, that is a placement body, or you apply directly as a private student, which we used to call parallel. But for Baraton, both currently now the government has said every student going to private universities will only get a loan to service the studies. So you can go through KUPS, or you apply directly to the university and you'll be admitted as per the charter qualifications. So there are two ways now of joining Baraton. Either you go through KUPS and get placed, and then apply for a loan, which as we speak now is 55% of school fees. Okay?
For every student?
Yes.
For every student?
For every student who joins a private university.
Because I heard something like for students who are below C, don't get this.
That's where I'm coming. Those who want to study for a degree program, bachelor's, undergraduate, those ones can either go through KUPS or apply directly. It's all the same. Because on arrival at the university, the two categories will apply for the loan. And the loan is the same, whether you went through KUPS or you went through a direct admission. But there is another class of students who are joining Baraton and other universities as well, who have not qualified for a degree program directly or bachelor's degree. Those ones, they are those with a C or C+. For us at Baraton, anyone with a C or C- can come and enroll for a diploma course, which can be like a stepping stone to start a degree. 2 years, you're done with your diploma, you graduate, and then you apply and join your bachelor's program. And you can go all the way to PhD. Okay? And there's another class of those who never got a C-, but they got a D+ and a D. These ones, we advise them, I'm talking of a D plain, not a D-. The charter does not allow for a D-. Of course, those with the D- and E's, now the government allows them to go to tertiary institutions and do these other courses, which we also require in the country. But a D and a D+, they can apply and enroll for a certificate course as a stepping stone. They study for 2 semesters for a certificate, they graduate, they apply to do a diploma, For 2 years, they graduate, and then they qualify for a degree program.
Okay.
And they can go for masters and PhD. Oh, yes. And at Baraton, at the same time, I think we are among the few universities. I know we have only 2 universities in Kenya where we have collaboration with the United States University. Like Baraton, we collaborate with Andrews University in Michigan, where an enrolled student can do 2 years in Baraton.
Yes.
After which he can apply and go for 3rd year and 4th year on credit transfer to Andrews University in the US.
Okay.
And this is very rare, a very rare opportunity
for
where you study here 2 years, and 2 years you go to study in the United States of America, which is a rare opportunity, and so which is not found in other universities.
Okay. You said that there is a government sponsorship for up to 50 what percent?
55.
55%.
As per the current knowledge that we have, it's 55%. You know, there are different categories.
Yes, and everybody
there's the needy, the less, the less needy,
yes,
and the able. Now we are talking here about what the government has given, that the able and, those classes which have been given there.
Yes.
They are, for those who are very needy, what we do as a university, we give a work-study program.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Oh, yeah, so they study and make fees for themselves at the university.
Oh, that's great.
So what is being offered elsewhere there, these ones can come and join us, get the 55% loan, and work manually and make the difference. And sometimes the university offers a grant of what we call a bursary for the needy and worthy students. And so there is no fear to join Baraton.
Yeah.
In fact, if I were the parent out there, my choice would be University of Eastern Africa, Baraton.
So it's possible to attend Baraton, to apply and join without money or with just a little bit of money, then enroll for the work-study program. You get money and keep on paying your fee after some time.
Even with the current government-sponsored students in Baraton, there are those at all who cannot afford the difference of about 20,000.
Yes.
And so we give them some work program, they study, they get grants here and there, and they graduate within 4 years. Oh, yes.
And doesn't this really, put some financial pressure and stress on you as an institution? Where you have to pay these students so that they can pay for themselves. Instead of bringing money, you are using your own money again to pay yourselves in as much as they are, engaging in some manual work and the likes.
That takes heart on the part of the administrators to ensure that that is also embedded in the budget, to ensure that whatever is spent is worthwhile. Remember, we are training in the area of values.
Yes.
And values have a cost.
True.
And that's how far the university has gone.
So there is a cost on Baraton, but then you're saying, okay, we can take this because we want to meet our core mandate or our vision.
Correct.
All right, that's very, very good. And now let's jump over to some other issues. By the way, when are your opening dates? When are you?
23rd of August.
23rd of August, okay. So if I apply now, how many days do we have still to apply?
Through COOPS or directly?
Through COOPS.
Through COOPS, this session, they are closing on the 7th.
7th of this month.
Of this month.
June.
And then they'll open again. They'll place the students. And after placing students, they'll receive a message over their phones that this is the university where you've been placed. And they'll have up to July 25th, when the COOPS will open the portal again for 4 weeks, up to August 24th.
What for?
For the universities to express their freedom, that the course that I've been given, I don't want it.
Okay.
And the university where I've been placed, I have changed my mind. It is called the period of inter-university transfer.
Okay.
So they go back to the COOPS, and they pay something small, and they say, this time round, and I'm encouraging them to say, this time round, the course that I want now is the one offered at Baraton. The university that I need now is the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton. And KUPS is normally very faithful. Once you do that, they'll place you at Baraton, whether you're doing nursing or theology or engineering or music or mass communication. Oh, yes.
So, that will, you said the window for inter-university transfers will be in the month of?
It starts on 25th of July as per the KUPS calendar.
Okay, but you'll be opening after. That's in August.
It will close on 24th of August.
Yes.
Yes.
When will
4 weeks.
When you said, when are you opening?
On 23rd.
23rd
of August.
Of August. So how will you handle these inter-transfers?
Yeah.
Bearing in mind that, you know, it's maybe...
Normally, many people there get some confusion.
Yes.
Because they see the KUPS portal closes a day
before
after
a day after
the university has opened.
Yes.
Okay. We care for that as a university, because once the KUPS portal was closed, or once it closes on the 24th of August, and our students have reported on the 23rd of August, then it takes about 2 weeks for them now to finalize on the placement. Those ones who are affected, we normally ask them still to report, and we give them special consideration for them to cover what they've lost for the first 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Oh, all right. Well, that's very fine, and I think it's very considerate of you. Now, let's handle some, you know, there are some things in that happens in all institutions. These are in public domain. And in tertiary institutions, we've known students for strikes. Most universities in the country, we've reported several strikes, and, you know, things keep on happening because of probably, I would say, unresolved conflict, where probably the administration is not listening to the students' affairs and such like things. Do you have such, you know, issues coming up, problems in your institutions, and how do you handle them?
The question has to be on conflict resolution mechanisms.
Sure.
The university has structures to deal with conflicts at all levels. Academic issues, student affairs, food services, sports, elections. Even workers have their own structures on how to deal with that. And as you've said correctly, each institution has its own strengths and areas where we have conflict. Yes, we've had issues among the students, and they are handled at their levels. The student government has disciplinary measures, student services, issues like that, all through the ladders. And some of the issues that might come out in public needed some correction. That at the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, we have a record of not having the general issues that we find in public institutions. Even when workers have grievances, they have a way, we have systems of handling issues of faculty, staff, including the students.
Because I remember in, was it 2019 or 2021, there was somehow kind of an uproar online where it was also reported on media of the locals having a problem with, I don't know what was happening, was it a political issue or something? How did you handle such, how do you get to handle such issues? Because we've also heard of a situation where you are offering a degree that kind of has not been approved or something. I don't remember the scenario very well. How do you get to handle such issues? Because, you know, problems are normally there, but the difference comes in how you handle the issues.
May I say that at Baraton, we don't admit angels.
True.
We admit ordinary human beings. Majority being Kenyans. And you know Kenyans.
Yes. Oh, Kenyans, I know Kenyans. Okay.
Kenyans are Kenyans.
Yes.
The Kenyans who block roads in other universities. The Kenyans who ban classrooms and vehicles and dormitories, hostels. They are the same Kenyans in Baraton. They have the same challenges. But as Dr. Marlon has put it, the university has put on mechanism on conflict resolutions. And that's why you rarely hear of Baraton burning tires, refusing to eat, not going to classes. It is rarely something you may not even trace the record of when that thing happened. And this gives Baraton an upper hand, whereby once you enroll at Baraton, you are sure within 4 years you are a graduate.
Correct.
If you are doing a certificate, 1 year you are a graduate. If you are doing a diploma, 2 years you are out. If you are doing masters, 2 years you have a master's degree. For PhD, you enroll in Baraton. We don't lose grades for students. Okay. And we don't negotiate grades. Once you enroll at Baraton, 3 years PhD, you are a doctor.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
That's Baraton. We have challenges, of course.
Yes.
Like especially during student government election, challenges all the time. Someone feels, I won.
Yes.
Someone feels I should be the leader. And we have a mechanism. There is an appeals committee. They appeal, their cases are listened to, and instead of building pressure, they give in. They say, okay, I've seen where I went wrong. Let me try next year. And so we have those challenges. Food, of course, food will, sometimes the salt will be, even in your house. Sometimes salt is too much.
Yes.
And we have a way of telling them, if salt is too much today, you wait.
Tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow. You
Not
don't force
tomorrow.
them to eat too much salt. We know the challenges.
Yes.
We can cook for them again.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and they are comfortable.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
I know you have quite plenty of milk and...
Don't talk of milk in Baraton. Baraton milk comes from the tap.
Oh.
Hot milk comes from the
From
tap.
the tap.
Oh, we have a lot of milk. We have a
yogurt.
lot of Frisian cows.
Right.
We milk with the machines. It is passed, and
So
students...
food is not a problem.
Oh, if you want a university where your child can eat better than home sometimes, it is Baraton. Self-service in the cafeteria.
Thank you.
And they eat enough. And we have a policy.
Yes.
Serve enough, finish what you served.
Oh, okay.
We don't waste food.
No wastage.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They are trained morally on table manners. You serve what you think you can finish. If you're not full, go the second time. If you're not full, go the third time. But you cannot put a mountain of food. You taste and then you throw. It's not
that would
hard
be
of
bad
it,
even in the eyes of
But
but then the final question is on leadership training or leadership aspects. Do you take this at heart that you want to train people who can be leaders in this society, people who can be depended on or relied upon to move the country and the society forward?
Of course, we have leadership components in the School of Business as well as in the School of Education, Humanities and Social Services. But that also comes in how we impart the values.
Yes.
When it comes to values are caught, they're not acquired. And that makes a whole difference when you are training leadership.
Yes, okay.
You can have theory in class using all the leadership theories, but until a child has seen it practically, you will not have the leadership. So we train that because we are closer to them and we mentor young people in leadership.
Wow. So finally, what is the future of Baraton, UEAB? What is the future of UEAB?
I don't know what you mean by future.
Yeah, I mean, what are your future projections when it comes to the education sector, and especially on your line of imparting moral values in the society?
Okay, I get you clearly. Recently, a senior leader in Kenya approached me. He said, I have a son who cannot fit anywhere in the country. He has been expelled in all universities. Tried here, tried there, tried elsewhere. And I told him, he asked me, can you kindly try him at Baraton? I said, we love such.
Yeah.
Because for us, it is redemptive.
Okay.
And that's why so many parents who have given up with their children prefer Baraton. And when they come, we register them. And I personally make an announcement. if you've come to Baraton and you take drugs, register in my office.
Okay.
If you've come to Baraton and you drink, you're a daily drinker, and you smoke, please come and register in my office. And they come. When they come, when they register, they don't register to be penalized.
Yes, because they register.
They register so that we can take them through the healing process. Those who have addictions, we take them through counseling. We have counselors in the university. And those who accept to be counseled, they start immediately. And at the end of the day, we also preach to them. And some of the known notoriously as drug addicts, at the end of the day, we put them in water for baptism.
Wow. Amen.
Having changed their character.
And
that is
you
Baraton.
have a church in the institution?
It is the first building as you enter the university.
Oh, the first you meet.
Yeah, and just in addition to what Dr. Sharak mentioned, you know, you're asking the future of Baraton. It's bright for the following reasons. Values impartation, we're up to date. Something else has to do with this generation. Brother Atemo, this generation, these are the children of millennials.
Yes,
Remember that terminology?
Yes.
And we are dealing with a different generation whose approaches should not be like the ancient ones.
Oh, yes.
You need to be attentive to them.
Yes.
You need to be accessible and present. These variables are found in the staff and faculty at the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton.
Wow.
To ensure that our young people, remember, the brain matures. How long do you think the brain matures, human body? How long? Yeah, maturity of the brain.
I'm not
You have
sure.
no idea.
It keeps on maturing.
Up to 25 years,
25
that's when
years.
it has now reached its peak.
Okay.
Now, we are dealing with the teenagers
Who are still
growing.
Yeah.
They need attention. They need presence. They need accessibility. And that, in addition to what the Davis mentioned, is found at Baraton. Values, the teachers are accessible. These guys can finish within the 4 years. We have redemptive display. And people can have this collaboration with the United States to go and finish there. What else?
Wow.
Dear parent, dear guardian, thank you for sending your child to Baraton.
And by the way, what's your maximum capacity that you can take?
Currently, we are able to take over 5,000.
5,000?
We are expanding the institution.
Yes.
Currently, as we speak, we have a big tuition block coming up for the nursing and science building. And we are putting up more hostels to accommodate both those who are able to pay for the boarding fee and for those who cannot afford the day scholars inside the university.
Also, you have both boarders and day
yes. And may I remind...
And the accommodation is enough currently as we speak.
For especially the coming students, the coming first years, we encourage that all of them should be housed within the institution. Because we've realized some of them are too young to behave themselves outside the university.
Okay.
And I would like to remind the viewer that if you need a university of choice, the most disciplined university in East Africa, this is the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton.
Now, thank you very much, and our dear viewer, with that, we come to the end of our discussion today. Remember, 173,345 qualified to join tertiary institutions, universities, and UEAB Baraton is saying that this is the university of choice. Now, as you make your consideration, of course, you may want to get in touch with them to, get a few more details than we could talk about. What is that number that we get to talk with you?
Currently, if you need a number of contact at the moment to reach Baraton, and we encourage you to go WhatsApp only, where you can be given all the details, how to apply a school fee structure and everything. Visit the university on 0722
0722
455
455
647.
647.
Kindly go WhatsApp only unless you need clarification.
0722 455 647. Okay.
There you are.
That's WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp only.
WhatsApp.
Any other means or channel of communication?
Mainly that. Okay. Mainly that.
And your website is?
www.ueab.
.ueab.ac.ke.
www.ueab.ac.ke.
All right.
All right.
Oh, thank you very much. And of course, now you have ample information. You can always log into that website, get the details that you need, communicate with them through their WhatsApp number 0722 455 647. You'll get more information as you apply for your course of choice and your university of choice. God bless you. See you next time. Thank you very much.